I thought it was time that I battle my social media addiction. We almost read 100 pages today, which is kind of crazy. We are starting off crazy today. So we do have a 3-hour reading day today. I literally have no words. I need a second. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Trenee. Today's video, we're doing something a little different. I thought it was time that I battle my social media addiction. I am on my phone 24/7, constantly, all day, every day. I find myself reaching for it without even realizing I'm reaching for it. And I really just need to cut this nasty habit. So I have been seeing this all over my YouTube homepage where people are swapping their screen time of their most used apps for reading. So that's what this week's video is. It is 6:24 right now. It's really late. I'm starting to get that itch where I just want to sit on the couch and scroll for the rest of the night. But we're not doing that. We're starting this challenge now. Let's take a quick look at my screen time. Honestly, expecting it to be pretty high for TikTok. TikTok is my most used app. I am always on TikTok scrolling. In my defense, I do use it for like a search engine as well. So sometimes I'll pick up my phone to quickly search, but majority of the time I am scrolling and not even realizing that I'm scrolling for hours. And I apologize in advance if I sound stuffy. I don't know if it's allergies or I'm getting sick, but I feel like crap today. Anyways, okay, so looking at Monday, November 3rd, I spent a total of 8 hours on my phone. That's disgusting. 1 hour and 22 minutes was spent on Instagram and only 49 minutes was spent on TikTok. That's shocking. I really figured they would be swapped. I really only look at Instagram for Instagram stories, but I guess this day I was just scrolling. I don't know. I'm not too worried about the other apps that I spend a lot of time on because I don't consider them social media. It looks like I was very chatty today. I spent 1 hour and 48 minutes in my messages. Crazy. So we're going to do Instagram plus TikTok. That's 1 hour and 22 minutes plus 49 minutes, which I think that's around like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I don't know. And the book that we're reading today is called Tender is the Flesh. It is a dystopian thriller book about cannibalism. Not my typical genre, but it was on my fall TBR list. And as we are getting to the end of the fall season, I want to finish out my fall TBR. So far, I am 19 pages into this book. It's very gross. It's very disgusting, but I am interested. I'm going to get my timer ready. Just found a random 2-hour timer on YouTube. Oh my God. Next thing I'm going to do is get my phone and put on some cozy reading music. Also, if I decide to listen to an audiobook during this week, that is allowed. I consider audiobooks reading. I know some people don't, but I do. Okay, I got some cozy music here. We're putting our phone on D&D. I got my timer. We're going to get started with reading. Quick correction. I'm actually on page 26, not 19. I didn't realize I had read some of this book earlier. Starting on page 26. I don't know why I'm reading this book. It's really nasty, but I feel like I can't DNF it, even though I am quick to DNF most of the time. But like, this is bad. Okay, pausing my timer. I paused it at 56 minutes and 47 seconds. I am going to take a break because I'm hungry. In an hour, I made it to page 55. So I read about 30 pages. I don't really know why I chose to read this book. Honestly, don't know how I'm supposed to eat after reading these chapters. I'm going to try and forget about it. Maybe watch a YouTube video while I eat. Because yeah, this is really nasty and it's very descriptive and yeah, I don't know. Whenever I read books that are like in a dystopian world, I think about if I'd be able to survive in this type of world. I don't think I have that much of a will to live through this stuff. Like, this is nasty and bad and really sad. And I laughed at one of the lines in the book. It said like slavery is barbaric, but yet you're literally killing people and eating them. As much as I say that this book is gross, I don't want to DNF it. Like, I'm very interested on like learning about this world and why they do what they do. They tell you pretty much in the very beginning why they are cannibalism people. I don't know the proper word, but we learn pretty early on why they're eating people. But the main character that we're following, I think he has a hard time battling with his job in the slaughterhouse. I don't want to give too much away in case anyone wants to read this book. No judgment, because I'm obviously reading it, but he's battling with some things, and I think that's what's keeping me reading, because I want to see how he goes into work to the slaughterhouse, but also how he deals with what's going on at home. So yeah, very interesting. I don't like that it's written in third person. I like to read books that are first person, but it's okay. It's always good to switch it up and read different things that I don't normally read. But yeah, that's my one complaint about the book, outside of it being gross that it's in third person. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat real quick. We have 56 minutes left to read today. Just finished dinner, going to start reading again, except I'm gonna listen to the audio while I do my nighttime skincare routine. Starting chapter 13. Let's get some skincare done.
It's used almost in its entirety. Hardly anything goes to waste. Once they're entirely hairless, they can be gutted.
All right, face is washed. Gonna finish out the last 30 minutes of reading. We have 37 minutes and 34 seconds. 2 hours was honestly not that bad. I'm still really shocked that I only had 2 hours of screen time last Monday. Very crazy. I really thought that I was a lot worse than that. But gonna put on my cozy music and finish out the last 30 minutes. The timer just went off, but I have a minute left in the chapter, so I'm just going to finish it off really quick. I made it to page 89. I'm on chapter 22, and I've made it to 51% of the book, so we are halfway there. It is 9 p.m., and I'm exhausted. I honestly was starting to fall asleep during the last 10 minutes. That's why I had to sit up and finish reading. Very successful day 1. I'm excited for tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I want to start this a little earlier today just to see where I'm at with my screen time for Tuesday, and in case I need to read on my lunch break and after work today. I didn't want to start this after work today and then find out that I had like a 3-hour screen time or 4-hour screen time. So we're checking early today. 2 hours and 15 minutes on TikTok and 55 minutes on Instagram. So we do have a 3-hour reading day today, which is crazy. Okay, so plan for today. Since I work a 9 to 5, this is a little bit harder. So we're going to have to be very strategic about how we read today. So on my 1-hour lunch break, I will read for that full hour, and then we'll do another 2-hour read after work. It shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully this is the longest I have to read all week, but I have a feeling that it's only going to get worse. 2 hours, Trenee, on TikTok. Yikes. I'm on my phone a lot. I was on my phone for 9 hours this day, and 3 of those hours was TikTok and Instagram. Again, with the very long messages, like who am I talking to? And the rest are like YouTube, Safari. I spent 24 minutes in photos. Interesting. Maybe I was recording this day, I don't know. Spent 22 minutes in New York Times, which is not too bad. That's just playing games every day. But man, 3 hours on social media. I will see you guys at lunchtime for our hour of reading. I did listen to the book a little bit this morning while I was getting ready for work. So I am on chapter 23 now, on page 95. Let's see how much we can read in the next hour. Before we get too deep into this video, I don't think I told you guys what this book is about. Since I was already halfway through it, it didn't dawn on me to tell you guys what the book is about that I'm reading. So the book I'm reading is called Tender is the Flesh, and it is by Augustina Bazterrica. I'm butchering that last name, but I will put it on the screen so you guys can see it. This book is a dystopian thriller, and it's about when animal meat is no longer safe for humans to eat. From what I've gathered already in the story, some sort of illness or virus got into the feed for the animals and the pets, the birds, literally any animal you can think of, they had this specific virus. And so in order for people to survive, they had to find other measures of meat to eat, because veganism is bad in the world. It's looked at like you're a weirdo or a conspiracy theorist if you are like a vegan. And so they needed another way to consume meat. And so they turned to people. I'll read you the Goodreads synopsis. It says, working at the local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. His wife has left them, his father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries to not think too hard about how he makes a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus has made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then governments initiated the transition. Now eating human meat, aka special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, consignment, and processing. Then one day he's given a live specimen of the finest quality, though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on the pain of death. Little by little, he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what might be saved. Just in case I didn't say that in the beginning, that's what the book is about. All right, let's go ahead and start our 3-hour timer. I'm also going to set a separate hour timer so that I know, well, now it's really like 45 minutes because I've been talking so much, but at least I'll know like when my lunch break is over. I also made myself some lemonade to drink while I read. Let's go ahead and get started. We are starting off crazy today. This man is nasty, disgusting. What? Oh my God. It is time for me to go back to work. Some crazy stuff has happened in just these last 2 chapters that I've read. I've been taking notes, so at the end of the book, I'm going to give you guys like a recap of my thoughts. There will be spoilers, so I'll make that a whole different section. But man, this story is really good. Despite how gross it is, I think I really like it. We are free. It's 5 p.m. We have 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 29 seconds left to go. I think I only have an hour left in Tender is the Flesh. So we'll be able to finish a book today, which is really exciting. And then maybe we'll start another one. I'm not sure what I want to read. I have a bunch of books on my TBR. That's something that I'm never going to get through is my TBR. I have like 300 books on there, but we'll pick something that maybe I've been wanting to read for a while now. We'll see. But yeah, hour left to go in the book. 2 hours left of reading for the day. So it is now 5:30. I've spent the last 30 minutes talking to my best friend and I have not read a single page. So starting our 2 hours and 23 minutes now. What did I just read? I literally have no words. This book is so crazy and so bizarre, and I've never read anything like this before. I literally have no words. I need a second. I don't even know what to rate this book because it was so weird. It wasn't bad, I'll say that. Would I recommend it? Maybe if you want like a crazy dystopian, I can't even call it a thriller. It's really not a thriller. It's not like spooky at all. It's just a dystopian book. If you want to read a dystopian book, I would recommend this book. But I don't know. It was very weird. But the ending was crazy. So if you are interested in reading this book and want to read it, skip to this time because I'm about to talk about the book and give spoilers. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone, so here's your last chance to step away before I start going into detail about this book. Okay, so I did not read the synopsis of this story. I kind of went into it blind. I really didn't know what the book was about when I started it. I just kept seeing it all over TikTok. I kept seeing it in Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, I need a spooky book to read for the fall season, so I added it to my fall TBR. What I should have did was read about the book before I started it because I feel like I probably would have been, I don't know. Part of me feels like I should have read the synopsis before I read the book, but also part of me is happy that I didn't know anything about it because I don't think this is something that I would have chose to read, but I'm really glad that I did because crazy. Anyways, so the book follows a few characters, but the main character, his name is Marcos. He works at the local processing plant or the slaughtering house. We follow the story following him dealing with like his father having dementia. His sister and him don't really get along. She has like a whole nother family, and she is a huge conspiracy theorist about the whole animals being poisonous thing. She believes in this theory that if you go outside and like a bird poops on you, you will get sick because all animals have viruses. And he battles with like his relationship with her because he doesn't subscribe to all these crazy conspiracy theories that she does. And I just liked that in this dystopian world, we still have people who are huge conspiracy theories and like kind of take the like problem and run with it. Throughout the story, we kind of learn more about Marcos and how he doesn't really like subscribe to all these things, that all animals are bad and all these things. There's one moment where he goes to the zoo where him and his dad went to frequently, and he comes across like 3 dogs, and he's like playing with the dogs and missing old times about when like you could have a pet, because I guess he used to have a pet but he had to slaughter it because all animals had this virus. We also learned that him and his wife are separated. They're not divorced, but I think she left him after they lost their baby. I don't necessarily know what happened to their child. It was hinted that maybe it got sick and they had to kill their kid, but I'm not 100% sure on what happened exactly to the kid. But we know that there's some sort of hard feelings between him and his wife and this kid, and they're going through something really traumatic. But anyways, one day his boss sends him like a thank you gift to Marcos, and it's a female head is what they call humans. They call them heads now. Something I forgot to mention, Marcos is a vegan. He doesn't eat meat, but he doesn't tell anybody that he doesn't eat meat. He just avoids it, and he will eat it if necessary to like play the part. So anyways, when his boss delivers this head or human to his door, he's like, I don't want this. Like, why did you send this to me? And the boss is like, oh, don't worry, I'll send someone over to slaughter her for you. Like, just keep her for a few days, blah, blah, blah. This is my way of saying like, thank you or whatever. And he battles with like doing what his 9-to-5 job is of slaughtering these heads, or does he allow this person to just be a person and live in his home? It is very, very forbidden and illegal to like treat their heads as real people and as humans. Like, you're not even allowed to call them humans anymore. It's like forbidden to have any personal contact with these humans. So every day he battles with like, do I slaughter her? Do I keep her as like my person? He goes back and forth with all these things, and little by little every day he starts to treat her like a human being. He's feeding her like rice and veggies versus like feeding her food. And he's keeping her a secret from the government. There's a lot of chapters in the book where like an inspector will come to his house and inspect the house, and he has to hide her, and he has to use like his status and call on the people that he knows to like get this inspector to go away. And it gets a little like tense because you're like, oh my gosh, is he gonna get caught? Because I find myself rooting for him to like do the right thing, and you know, I'm starting to see that he's a good person and he doesn't want to hurt this woman, so you start to root for him to get away with it basically. And then one chapter he ends up getting her pregnant, which I was like, what the what like, ew. And he ends up taking care of her and hides her in her home. And then it's time for her to give birth. And he said that like the fluid that came out of her was green and brown. And I guess that's like a sign that the baby's in distress or hurt or something. I don't know. I don't have kids. He calls his wife because she's a nurse, and he's like, I need you to help me. Just come over, like help me out. So she comes over. She sees that her husband has gotten some head pregnant, and she's like, what are you doing, la 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 la, whatever. So the wife helps deliver the baby. Oh, I forgot to also say, these heads, humans, cannot talk, can't scream, can't do anything, can't make any noises. They've taken out their vocal cords. And also parts of the book we learn that like these heads don't know like anything. They don't know how to read. They don't know what a TV is. They don't know what basic human things are. I don't know if they explain that or if I just missed a chapter. But they're basically like animals where they don't know like basic human things. Obviously the head, the human, the woman, whatever, she's freaking out because something's happening to her. And so the wife is trying to like ease her through the pregnancy or the pregnancy, ease her through the birth and just like walk her through it. Baby is born. Now backtrack to what I said earlier, that they lost a child together. So the baby is born, they're in bliss. She's like, it's a boy. And he's like, he's ours now. He goes in the kitchen to get the woman like a wet rag to like cool her off or whatever. And then he hits her in the head and he takes her to the barn and slaughters her. This whole time, I'm thinking this guy has had a change of heart. He's come around. He's a good guy. He even quit his job at the slaughterhouse. But no, all he really wanted was a baby to replace the baby that they lost. And that's how it ends. The last sentence says, she had the human look of a domesticated animal. Crazy. Hopefully all that made sense. I feel like I'm a bad storyteller, but I just wanted to get all my thoughts out to you guys. I did see a lot of TikToks of people saying like the ending shook them and they were just like, what? And that's literally how I felt. I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know what to rate this book. I would say a 4. I'll give it a 4, maybe a 3.75. I don't know. I'm going to let it marinate a little bit and I will possibly change my rating, but I think a 4 is appropriate for this. It wasn't a bad story. The writing was fine. Some of it was a little bit confusing. It was just nasty. Like, it was gross. I feel uncomfortable reading that, but I feel like that doesn't take away from the book itself. It was just not something that I prefer to read. I did take some notes of my thoughts throughout the book, so I'm going to tell you guys. Foot wine sounds disgusting. There was a chapter in the book where they were talking about foot wine and like eyeball juice, I think. I don't know. They made a lot of emphasis on keeping the people alive to keep them calm, literally like mad cow disease, which is crazy. They were like, if you hit them in a specific spot of their head, they'll just go unconscious and then you can slaughter them peacefully. Ew. His boss sending him a human as a thank you gift is crazy. There was a chapter about church rituals and people sacrificing themselves for like the greater good, and that was really weird. Yeah, and then there was a chapter about human trafficking and how they eat them after doing things to them, and it's just, this book is nasty. I wouldn't recommend it. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I don't know why anyone would write this book or read this book. It still wasn't a bad book. Like, it was an interesting story, as nasty and messed up as that sounds, but this book was gross. And I'm happy it's over. I need to read like the fluffiest romance books after this. I still have an hour and 7 minutes left of reading, so I need to find something to read. Maybe I'll listen to an audiobook. I have been wanting to start Kamala Harris's book, so maybe I'll do an hour of that, or maybe I'll find a book to read. I don't know. Apologies for the lighting. I have changed sceneries. I think I'm going to give this one a 3.25. The reason why I lowered my rating is just because it was just so nasty. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how to rate this one. It's not worthy of a 5. I think 3.25 is where I'll stay. 3.5 max, maybe. Maybe I'll meet myself in the middle, 3.5. I don't know. I'm going to stay at 3.25. Anyways, I have an hour and 7 minutes left. I'm going to pick up A Court of Silver Flames. This is the 5th book in the like ACOSF series. I started this book a while ago and I got to chapter 20 and then I did like a soft DNF just because I wasn't in the mood for fantasy at the moment. But the next book comes out sometime next year and I want to be done in time so I can be ready for book 6, so I figured I would just start it now. I'm not going to finish it obviously in the next hour. I figured I'd get back into it. Hour and 7 minutes starting now. Timer just went off. We have completed our 3 hours of reading. I am going to finish the last bit of this chapter. I have 4 minutes left in the chapter, so I'm just going to finish this off for the day. And day 2 is done. I feel like I want to read something else besides A Court of Silver Flames for the rest of the week, just because I just feel like I'm still not in the mood for fantasy, but I also don't know what else to read. I started on page 224 and I ended, well, I'm going to end this whole chapter, but I made it to 268 in the last hour of my reading, so about 40 pages. I did start immersive reading just because I feel like with fantasies I like to hear it in the narrator's voice because they pronounce the words correctly. They add more drama to like the sentence and the scene. So I figured I would do that for the last hour and it definitely helped get through a lot of the chapters. I'm gonna finish out this chapter and call it a night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 3. Can't believe we're at day 3 already. That was really fast. hope whatever's going on with me is just allergies, because I feel like crap and I felt like crap all day today. Hence why I haven't been very social on the vlog, but wanted to give you guys a quick book update. We started the day at 4 hours and 47 minutes and we are at 2 hours and 57 minutes left of reading today. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm feeling a little burnt out with reading. I don't know if it's the book I'm reading or if it's just like a lot of reading back to back. I read typically every day during the week, but I don't think I read this long. I think at the most I do is like an hour to an hour and a half every day. So reading for 3 hours, 4 hours straight is just a lot. I do think I'm gonna read for 1 more hour today, and then I might have to roll over one of my hours tomorrow or maybe Saturday, because your girl is burnt out. I'm so just like over reading. I am enjoying A Court of Silver Flames, but I'm not gonna lie, I do want to read something else. So I'm gonna do 1 more hour of A Court of Silver and Flames, and maybe we'll pick up another book for the last hour. We'll see how I'm feeling. It says I should finish at 8:37 tonight. That's another thing. I'm finishing reading so late because I work a 9 to 5, so I get off work at 5, and if I have 3 hours of reading, I'm done by 8 or 9 o'clock. And that's only if I don't take any breaks in between. So this is really hard to do with a 9 to 5. It's helped reading some on my lunch break and before I go into work, but doing it all after work is a struggle. But we're making it work. We are pushing through. And honestly, this challenge is helping me be more mindful of the amount of time I spend on my phone, because I'm like, oof, I do not want any higher screen time than 3 hours because this is rough. And it's just been very like eye-opening the amount of times that I look at my phone throughout the day and pick it up and quickly scroll through social media, and how fast I can get stuck into scrolling through social media. I'm becoming very aware of my addiction to my phone and social media with this challenge. I don't want to give up though. I want to finish strong. I want to hit my hours every day, but I'm just burnt out and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can read a single more page again. But I'm gonna shoot for at least 1 more hour today. The least I can do is 1 more hour. Hi guys, happy Saturday. Apologies if my voice goes in and out. I am sick. I have not talked to you guys since maybe Wednesday or Tuesday. I don't really remember when I stopped recording, but I have been sick all week. I did go to urgent care yesterday and they said that it could be allergies or it could be a viral infection because ragweed is very high this week. I don't know. All of my friends and my cousins that I've talked to, they also are suffering really bad allergies this week. So, and my mom is also not feeling well. So I think something is just going on with like allergy season, which makes sense because the season is changing. I'm feeling a little bit better. My cough is getting a lot better. I'm still coughing pretty bad, but it's better than what I have been these last 3 days. Has been pretty bad. And my voice is the only thing that's going in and out. So I figured I would pick back up this video and finish off strong. I did finish my hour and 52 minutes that I had left over from Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever that was. I don't remember. Sorry. But we still have to do Thursday and Friday's reading time. So we're going to pick back up like we never left and get back to it. For TikTok, we have an hour and 54 minutes. And for Instagram, we have an hour and 29 minutes. So let's add that up. I think we have another 3-hour day ahead of us. So we have 3 hours and 23 minutes today. 3 hours and 23 minutes. I have been reading. I just haven't been vlogging it just because I kind of wanted to just read while I was sick. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to hit a certain goal. I just wanted to read. So just a quick update. I got to about 56% of A Court of Silver Flames. And although I'm enjoying it, I'm just not like obsessed with it. It's really good, but I just find myself thinking about other things when I'm reading it. So I picked up a new book. We are now reading The Ordinary by Maya Ariel. I'm 100 pages into this book and I started it on Thursday, I want to say, November 14th. It is the 15th. I started yesterday. I started on Friday. And I'm already 100 pages in. So that should tell you that I really like this book and I like this story. Quick, like, what is this book about? It says a PR relationship between a pop superstar and a pro athlete. Bad boy turns into so much more in this swoony romance from the acclaimed author When I Think of You. Ella Simone's pop pop star lifestyle is what dreams are made of. Her 8-year marriage to renowned music producer Elliot Majors has helped garner the hits, awards, and adoring fans to prove it. But when Ella tires of Elliot's many infidelities, she decides to fight for her independence, and despite the ironclad prenup that threatens her career, she has to battle with being a female in the music industry, and everything is up against you, she has TMZ, Shade Room, People magazine writing all these different articles about her, about how she actually stepped out on the marriage when it's obviously not true, but because she is photographed next to somebody or seen next to somebody, they're like, oh, she's actually cheating instead of the guy Elliot. So it just goes through all of that. And of course we have the other love interest, which is the pro baseball player, and he comes into play. I really like it a lot. Obviously I'm already 100 pages in. This book only has 309 pages, but I really like it. And set our timer of 3 hours and 23 minutes of reading. Time has been up for a while. I have been watching Scandal. I just started Scandal, so I've been binge watching that. I just started Scandal for the first time, so I've been binge watching that, and I haven't came back on the camera to update you guys. We are officially done with the 3 hours, and I think it was 23 minutes today. We are on page 191, 62% in, chapter 24. We almost read 100 pages today, which is kind of crazy. This book is so good and so fun to read. I needed a romance book bad. After reading Tender is the Flesh, I needed something just fluffy, cutesy romance, and this is exactly what that is, and I'm so happy I picked this one up. It's been on my TBR for a long time, so yeah, I'm happy I read this one. I'm not sure how much time I have to read tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm actually really excited because that means I get more time in this book, and I have 2 hours and 57 minutes left in the book, so if I have another 3-hour reading day, we're definitely going to finish this one, which is exciting. We have one more day left in the challenge, so let's finish strong. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is the final day of this challenge. We are going to finish off this book. So for today's reading challenge, last Friday, actually it's a pretty good day. I only spent a total of 3 hours and 52 minutes in socials. 2 hours and 6 minutes of this is messages, and then the rest is TikTok and Instagram. TikTok is 1 hour and 31 minutes and Instagram is 13 minutes. So really no time on my phone, so go me. So we only have, 1 hour and 44 minutes to read today. I will probably try and finish the book. I only have 2 hours and 37 minutes today, so we'll read our hour 44, but I probably will go over that just to finish the book because it's so good and I want to see how it ends. But let's go ahead and set our timer. I think the next time I do a reading challenge like this, I definitely need to switch up my scenery. I need to get out the house and read and not be stuck in my house reading, because I feel like that will help me be motivated to read, especially on the long reading days, just because it's just I can read in my room, I can read on the couch, I can read in my reading chair, but I need to get out of these 4 walls. If I wasn't sick, I would have went to a coffee shop or something. I feel like that would have made it more fun, but I've been going a little stir crazy because I have not left my house since last Sunday. So we have 1 hour and 44 minutes to go. She says I should be done at 6:30. Not too bad. We have officially completed the reading challenge of swapping my screen time with reading. I made it to page 269. I think we started on page 191, chapter 24, and I'm on chapter 32. So 8 chapters, I think that is 24, 32. I don't know math. I am almost done with this book. There's only 34 chapters, and then I think there's an epilogue. So I'm definitely going to finish it tonight, but I am going to pause here to go make dinner. I'm going to finish this book tonight. I really like it. I'm not done with it yet, so obviously I'm not going to fully rate it, but I think I would give it a 4 right now. My only complaint is the pet names, and I feel that way with all romance books. I just don't enjoy pet names the authors give their characters, just because it's always just so cringy. And the name that the male main character calls the female main character is a little cringy. So that's my only complaint about this book so far, but I'm loving it. There is sort of a 3rd act breakup, which I don't love, but it's okay. It's starting to pick back up. I thought it was kind of slowing down right now, but something just happened that's pretty big and it's pretty interesting. And I think hopefully it goes somewhere and it doesn't just fall flat for like the sake of getting them back together, but we'll see. Before I end the vlog, I will come give you guys my final thoughts on how I like the book. In case you guys are wondering what I was making for dinner, I made a creamy Tuscan salmon pasta meal. This lighting is not doing it justice, but I promise it looks really good. But I found the recipe on YouTube. I'll link it down below. Okay, sorry about the lighting in my office. The overhead light isn't doing me justice right now, but we just finished No Ordinary Love, and I wanted to give you guys my final thoughts before we ended off this video. So overall, I would say this book is like a 4.2 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cute. I just wish that we got more of like their romance. I didn't mention this in the beginning when I first started reading it, but it's not dual POV, and I feel like for most romance books, it needs to be dual POV so that we get to know both characters. When it's only one POV, we only get to know the other character through the main character, if that makes sense. And I just felt like I could see that they liked each other, but the way that they got together was just so rushed. I feel like they had a moment. If you haven't read the book, I'm going to give a spoiler, so feel free to skip ahead so I don't spoil anything for you. But I don't think I told you guys anything like my thoughts throughout this whole book, so I apologize for not going as in depth as I normally do with whenever I talk about books. But basically the main guy is a baseball player, and the music industry and the sports industry are trying to like collab to do something. I don't remember exactly, but the two characters end up meeting at the Grammys, and it's kind of like an instant connection. But Ella is getting divorced from her husband of like 8 or 10 years or something like that, and she's like not talking to any men, not even entertaining it, but she's obviously like super attracted to Miles, and same for him, he's attracted to her, but he is also freshly divorced from his high school sweetheart, so it's just like not a good time for both of them, whatever. So they meet there, they have like a little cute connection, a little back and forth, and then Miles gets hired to be in her music video, and in a music video you're supposed to be like in love and romantic, and they share their first kiss on set, but Ella's like, no, this is just for the shoot, la la la, even though she knows that she actually likes him more. But after the shoot, I feel like their relationship just started without any conversation, unless I missed something. I don't really know. I just felt like it was just a little rushed. Like they went from not knowing each other to being in a music video together to dating and like falling in love with each other. It was just very fast, and I couldn't really tell where the book was going because I thought we were going to focus more on her divorce and like her battle with divorcing her ex, who was like super controlling and kind of emotionally abusive. But there was only like maybe 1 or 2 chapters where we got to see her and Elliot interact regarding their divorce. So I wish we would have gotten to see more of that, and maybe if it was dual POV, I would have believed their love a little bit more. I don't know. But with all that being said, I still did really enjoy it. It just didn't seem super believable to me. And then there is a part in the end of the book where Miles, the baseball player, and Ella's ex, Elliot, I think his name is, something happens between them. Elliot tries to frame him for beating him up, and that kind of just died quickly. I don't know what the author could have did to make that like as big as it came across, because when I was reading it I was like, oh my gosh, like what's about to happen? But we were so close to the end of the book that I knew nothing was going to come from it. It was just going to get quickly brushed under the rug and we were going to go back to happily ever after, which is my only gripe with romance books. Sometimes I feel like there's this big problem and then it's over really fast. But I feel like also with this book we spent so much time self-developing Ella and like being in her head and trying to navigate being divorced, but also falling for someone else and not being able to be open about falling for them, that I feel like once we got to the conflict, there was like nothing else to say because we already know they like each other. She's healing, he's healing, Miles, the baseball player, not her ex. Maybe that's why the author waited to the end to have like a big fallout, because that was one thing I was hoping that Miles and Elliot were gonna clash somehow, but they didn't until the end, and it was like over pretty quickly. I don't know, but I still liked it. Still give it a 4.2, probably 4 out of 5. I actually got a book from this company called Cover Snob, and they spray the side edges so that it's like a design. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like. My voice is starting to go out again, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this week/weekend. I'm feeling a little bit better. As you guys can tell, my voice is still in and out, but I'm happy that I'm not sick anymore. Very thankful that my throat doesn't hurt. I can breathe out of my nose. But if you liked this video, let me know. I kind of want to do another reading challenge video where I do pages instead of like time. I can do like a wheel, chooses how much I read, or like post on my Instagram story and have my friends on there tell me how much to read that day. I don't know. This was kind of fun. I was able to get through 2 books, so that's always a plus. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I'll see you in the next one.